Welcome to Snoozecast, the podcast designed to help you fall asleep. On the Snoozecast, we read excerpts from public domain works and occasionally original stories. We'd like to thank our listeners. If you enjoy our show, please be sure to subscribe and also share it with a friend. The Snoozecast is meant to be played as you get into bed. As a result, the best place to listen to us is on our website, snoozecast.com. From there, you'll be able to download or play single episodes without having to change any autoplay setting on your device or in your podcast directory. This episode is brought to you by your favorite sweater. Tonight, I'll be reading a Snoozecast original. The Nationals is a second-person story that takes you on a cold winter journey through the Maine coastal landscape to your destination at the U.S. Toboggan National Championships. Let's get cozy. Close your eyes. Relax your body into the softness of your bed. Now, take a few deep breaths. You're in the passenger seat of your friend's car, driving through the back roads of Owl's Head, Maine, headed to the U.S. National Toboggan Championships, a couple of miles away in Camden. It's exciting to finally have a long weekend off, and you're looking forward to what all the fuss is about. Owl's Head is a small town located in Maine's mid-coast region and is home to Birch Point State Park and Owl's Head Lighthouse, an active aid to navigation located at the entrance of Rockland Harbor on western Penobscot Bay. The sky is periwinkle blue on this bright, clear, and cold day. The seat warmer is on max setting, and you're feeling very comfortable in your friend's cozy vehicle, looking out at the scenery. The car comes to a little four-way stop. These winding country roads are replete with them. You take a closer look at the gully running along the side of the road and notice how a refrozen layer of ice sits on top of the hard pack. The car begins to move again. All around you, outside, is a cool winter palette. The pale green lichen of the deciduous trees is lit up by the low-hanging winter sun and its golden light. In New England, there's a large richness of diversity in lichen species, and approximately 440 lichen species are known from Acadia National Park, about a 2-hour drive from Owl's Head. The high diversity of lichen most likely results from the park's proximity to the coast and proper forest management. You take a peek at the center console and see the LCD display indicate the temperature is 8 degrees Fahrenheit. It's a good thing you're dressed appropriately. Thermals, scarf, big plastic aviators. Metal ones would be too cold on your skin. Clothes, hat, winter boots, and a long, puffy coat. Your friend takes a small detour to show you the little working harbor she used to drive by every morning on her way to high school. It's a little cove snuggled deep in the mainland, dotted with fishing boats painted in primary colors: red, yellow, and blue. Weathered lobster traps are stacked up on the wooden dock next to some kind of processing facility. She turns back on track, and you begin passing the New England-style homes: an off-white clapboard cottage, a brick-red farmhouse with a mailbox painted like a cow, and an olive-green, single-level ranch with a low-pitched gable roof. Continuing on the drive, evergreen branches sway in the wind gusts. The only movement in the otherwise silent and still landscape. The The road is dry and clear, a muted white from a fresh salting. You come around a curve now, and there is a large clearing to your left, the Camden Snow Bowl. A small, community-owned ski area rises from Hosmer's Pond. The pond is frozen solid and is white and glittering in the sunshine. What stands out to you immediately are the tiny figures in the distance, in a kaleidoscope of bright colors, contrasted starkly against the snowy backdrop. A dozen or so vehicles are on the ice as well, mostly pickup trucks and some quads, although you think you see an older model sedan as well. Little fishing huts stick out, with silver chimneys puffing wispy gray smoke upwards. Your friend heard on the local news this morning that parking might be difficult today, and community leaders were recommending most folks take the shuttle up from downtown Camden. It causes a momentary worry as you pull into the parking queue, while waiting for the couple of cars ahead of you to find out if they'll have to park elsewhere. Some folks walk past you, heading towards the main entrance. You laugh to yourself when you see two golden retrievers, off-leash and looking around in seemingly continuous wonder. You notice some other folks smiling at their cute antics as well. When you reach the parking attendant, it turns out you're in luck. A spot just opened up directly in front of the lot. Your friend pays the $10 entrance fee and a couple of crumpled ones, and she apologizes for not having a 10 on her. But the parking attendant just smiles, and the little icicles that hang on to the end of his mustache move a bit as he says, "As long as it's not pennies, we'll take it," and winks. You wave goodbye, a thank you goodbye to him, and pull up in front of the red and white A-framed ski lodge, originally built in 1936. You get out and begin to realize just how cold it is. You follow the crowd of people heading towards the entrance, and what hits you immediately is the pleasant smell of wood fire burning as it sweeps up your nostrils on one of the wind gusts. To your right, skiers come down different graded slopes, silhouetted by the sun shining directly over them against the white powder. You see a makeshift hill, not more than 10 feet. Hand-groomed snow for kids and their parents to slide down directly on their ski pants. Good practice for the younger crowd. You arrive at the entrance, and a banner stretches across the path, tied to 2 birch trees. It says, "Welcome to Nationals." You thank your friend for suggesting you come up this weekend. She tells you to think nothing of it. You're glad you wore layers, but one object missing from your attire that many people seem to be outfitted in are ice cleats. Rubber shoe fittings, metal spikes that go onto your existing boots for better traction on the ice. At first you think the trail is a dirt road, but after a handful of little slips in which you catch yourself in time, you realize it's actually pure ice with dirt tamped on top. You make your way a bit more carefully. White trailers are on either side of the path, selling mainly keepsakes or food. Little handmade toboggans, t-shirts, chowder, and fried fish. Strung from tree to tree in a festive fashion are streamers of multicolored triangular flags. You begin to notice all the costumes competitors are wearing. Some outfits you recognize immediately, while others don't come to you as quick. You see Wayne and Garth, the Blues Brothers, a group of Elsas and astronauts. You approach the main attraction, a toboggan chute going up the side of a steep hill, about 70 to 100 feet from the base of the pond. The chute empties out into the pond, and you wonder briefly what that means for the participants. At the finish line is a timing hut, and inside the announcer is keeping the crowd happy over the intercom with an assortment of jokes and puns in between toboggan runs. He mentions that the next round of runs will start in a couple of minutes, which gives you and your friend some time to head out onto the pond to get a better look at the fishing huts. She runs into someone she knows who just so happens to have one, and he's happy to show off the inside. It's remarkably warm, and you're thankful for the brief respite from the cold. The hut has a combination of newer and older items. Some 1960s binoculars, a box of cereal, some field guide books, and a cast iron wood stove that sits on 4 wooden blocks right in the middle. The announcer in the timing hut announces the next set of runs is starting, so you say thank you to her acquaintance and head back out to the end of the finish line to get the best view. The first crew flies down, a layered link of 3 people lying straight backwards and pressed flat against the toboggan, an act of faith. They speed past the timing hut, and the large red LED screen reads 9.65 seconds. When the toboggan hits the frozen pond at 40 miles per hour, any slight movement from the riders causes the toboggan to spin out in a slow gyration. The next crew gets set at the top of the chute, and all of a sudden, you picture yourself climbing into the front of the sled. Time slows down as the whistle blows and you lean back. As you start down the track, your stomach jumps slightly. Every creak and crevice of the chute, if felt underneath the thin slats of the toboggan. Your speed increases. Out of your helmet, you see a colorful, blurry vision of the crowd cheering you on and snapping pictures, cameras raised. The track levels out, and you pass the timing hut and the large digital timer. The announcer says your time, but you can't hear it through your helmet. As you spin out on the frozen pond, it seems like you are floating in space, drifting in radiating circles, spiraling from hidden forces. You close your eyes, relax your body, and take deep breaths of the cold air.